I've selected a low nap roller because we have a really smooth wall. When I offload the roller, if I'm in a bucket like this, I do not go up and back. If you roll up, you're gonna spatter out into the room. So I always, once I've dunked and rolled a little and dunked and rolled a little, now I just roll down several times to evenly distribute the paint around the entire roller. I'm gonna take my little chip brush because I dunked into the paint quite a bit, and I'm just gonna offload this edge so I don't get a drip on the wall, just to begin. I start in the center. That way the heaviest load is going onto the wall in the middle. You can distribute it up and down. It's going to be a lot more even. I like to roll as close to the wall as possible. Just rolling it first, getting as close as I can, and then I'll have less work to do when I have to go cut in. Now if you'll notice, I'm painting left to right, and I've got the arm of the frame to the right. You always want to have the arm in the direction that you're going because you'll have a heavier bead of paint on that end, and that way you can continue picking it up as you go across the wall. Once you have a section on the wall, I've been going up and down, so what you want to do is just come in and just feather it. I'm barely putting any pressure on the wall at all, and I'm feathering it all in the same direction. I'm just letting the roller do the work, and this way you won't have roller lines. I wrapped up the roller in plastic and I'm going to set it aside. This is something that you can do, say you want to do your second coat tomorrow. You could wrap it in plastic and stick the roller in your refrigerator if you want to. But really just having it wrapped in the plastic to keep the air from drying out the paint. That way it'll be fresh and ready to go and you don't have to clean the roller out twice. So when you're cutting in, you want to offload your brush so that there's paint on one side of the brush and no paint on the other side of the brush. This is the side that will go up against the tape and paper. I like to cut in last, and the reason for that is if you cut in first, you're going to be doing a lot of work because you're probably cutting in a lot wider than you need to. As you can see, I rolled up pretty darn close to the ceiling line and the edge of the wall in the corner, so it really isn't necessary to spend a long period of time cutting in 5-6 inches, which is just more than I really need to do. So I'm just cutting in and it's not even an inch wide. And the longer the stroke, the better. So when you have a bigger brush, it's gonna hold a little more paint so you can do a longer brush stroke. So I'm cutting in along the brick, and sometimes it's difficult to get tape to stick to the brick. I was lucky today because this is painted brick, and so the blue tape stuck. Generally speaking, I'll use regular masking tape, and then I'll put my tape and paper over it. It's a really good idea to pull at a 45-degree angle with your fingers pretty close. It'll keep the paint below it from pulling. And also, some people want to pull the tape when the paint is still wet, and some people say to wait until it's dry. I say to wait until it's just dry. If it's wet, it's just going to be a little bit messier. If it's really dry, it'll be so set up that it'll be hard. You may have to razor your tape. Hopefully these tips will inspire you to try painting on your own.